Welcome, everyone. If you're someone who's passionate about prepping and ensuring you and your loved ones are ready for any disaster, you're in the right place. But here's the thing, many preppers, even the most seasoned ones, are making some huge mistakes that could leave them vulnerable when disaster strikes. In today's video, we'll dive deep into top 10 prepper mistakes to avoid at all costs, and what you can do to avoid them. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with what prepping mistakes you've seen or made yourself. We'd love to hear from you, and we're always looking to improve and provide you with better tips. Now, let's get into it. Number 10. Relying too much on one source of water. Water is, of course, a critical resource when it comes to survival. But here's the thing, you can't afford to rely on just one source. Think about it, what happens if your well runs dry, your rainwater collection system gets contaminated, or your water pipes burst? If you've only planned for one water source, you might find yourself in a dire situation. To avoid this mistake, make sure you have multiple water sources in place. This could include things like rainwater collection systems, nearby rivers or streams, with proper filtration, or even water purification tablets and portable filters. Diversifying your water sources is key to ensuring you'll never go thirsty when the worst happens. Number 9. Forgetting to plan for long-term food storage. We all know you need to stock up on food if you're preparing for an emergency, but how many of us have actually thought about long-term food storage? Sure, you can stockpile a few cans of beans, rice, and pasta, but what if you're stuck for months, or even years? This is where long-term food storage comes in. Invest in freeze-dried meals, dehydrated vegetables, and other non-perishable food items that have a shelf life of 20+ years. Don't forget to store things like salt, spices, and cooking oil too. When the time comes, you'll want to have a variety of meals to keep you energized and nourished. Plan for nutrition, not just quantity. Number 8. Underestimating the power of community. Here's a critical point, prepping alone is risky. If you're living off the grid or in a solo bunker, it might feel like you're independent, but in reality, surviving a long-term disaster is much easier when you have a strong support system. Whether it's your neighbors, friends, or a dedicated prepper group, you need a community. Form alliances with others in your area and create a network of people you can rely on. Maybe someone has medical skills, another person has farming experience, and someone else is great with security. Working together means you can cover each other's weaknesses and make sure everyone is taken care of. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can do it all on your own. Number 7. Ignoring physical fitness. It's easy to forget about physical fitness when you're busy buying gear and supplies, but staying in good shape is a huge part of prepping. You can have all the high-tech gadgets and the best survival gear, but if you can't run, climb, or carry heavy objects, all that gear won't do you much good. Survival situations are physically demanding. Whether you're hiking long distances for supplies, defending your home, or just trying to survive without modern conveniences, being fit will give you the edge you need. Incorporate daily exercise into your routine, from cardio to strength training, and if you're really committed, learn some basic self-defense skills. Number 6. Focusing too much on gear and not enough on skills. Let's face it, it's fun to shop for survival gear, but it's even more fun, and essential, to master the skills that will help you use that gear effectively. Having the latest and greatest gear is great, but it's your skill set that will make the difference in an emergency. If you don't know how to use a fire starter or purify water without a fancy filter, you're not as prepared as you think you are. Start learning survival skills like fire building, first aid, navigation, hunting, fishing, and even gardening. The gear won't save you if you don't know how to use it properly, so put just as much effort into learning and practicing your survival skills as you do into buying your gear. Number 5. Not having a bug-out plan. There's a saying in the prepper world, plan to stay, but prepare to leave. A bug-out plan is crucial because you can't always predict when you'll need to evacuate. Whether it's due to natural disasters, social unrest, or any other emergency, having a clear and well thought out plan to bug out could be the difference between safety and disaster. Create an emergency evacuation route, and don't just have one, have several backup routes in case roads are blocked or impassable. Pack a go bag with essentials like food, water, first aid, extra clothing, tools, and anything else you might need to survive on the road. And don't forget to plan where you'll meet up with your family members if you get separated. Number 4. Ignoring psychological preparation. Surviving a disaster isn't just about your physical needs, it's about your mental strength too. The stress, isolation, and uncertainty that come with a survival situation can break down even the toughest people. You need to be prepared mentally for the challenges ahead. Take time to develop your mental resilience. Learn stress management techniques, practice mindfulness, and find ways to stay calm in chaotic situations. If you're prepared for the psychological toll, you'll be able to make clear-headed decisions in times of crisis. Number 3. Skipping training in first aid. In a disaster, medical emergencies are almost inevitable. Whether it's a scraped knee, a serious wound, or a more severe injury, you need to know how to handle these situations. Basic first aid is non-negotiable. Learn how to perform CPR, treat wounds, splint broken bones, and recognize the signs of medical conditions like dehydration, hypothermia, and heat stroke. A well-stocked first aid kit is helpful, but without the knowledge to use it, it's just a bunch of supplies. Make sure you're trained in first aid, and if possible, take a CPR or wilderness medicine course to level up your skills. Number 2. Misjudging your energy needs. Power is a crucial resource in a modern world, and you can't afford to overlook it. Whether it's powering your lights, keeping your devices charged, or running essential equipment, you need to plan for energy needs. Don't assume that your generator will last forever or that you'll always have access to fuel. Invest in renewable energy sources like solar panels, hand crank chargers, or wind turbines. Have enough fuel stored to run your generator for extended periods, and consider using energy-efficient appliances to conserve power. And the number 1 mistake to avoid at all costs: underestimating the importance of security. this is perhaps the most critical mistake you could make as a prepper, underestimating the need for security. You might have a fully stocked pantry, a top-tier water filter, and the best survival gear, but if you don't have a solid defense plan in place, all of that can be taken from you. Security goes beyond having a weapon. It's about fortifying your home, setting up alarms, and having an escape plan in case things get dangerous. Create layers of security around your property and invest in things like reinforced doors, motion sensor lights, and even surveillance cameras. Have a defense strategy in place so you can protect everything you've worked hard to prepare. So, there you have it. The top 10 prepper mistakes to avoid at all costs. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of the pitfalls you need to watch out for as you continue your prepping journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you've made any of these mistakes yourself or have some advice to share, we'd love to hear it. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and don't forget to keep on prepping.